These are apparently as I understand it, very sophisticated. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark. And, you know,
What?
we're obviously most concerned about sensitive targets and sensitive critical infrastructure.
Oh, my God.
All right, so let's I think we're good on that one. Let's move on to the drones. Hold on. And the drones are connected to all this, at least my opinion. And that's why I told y'all, what did I ask y'all to remind me of earlier in the show? The reset. I asked y'all to remind me about the reset for a reason. I asked y'all to remind me. So take a look at this video. And the reason why I asked y'all to remind me about the reset is because we've been talking a lot on this show about whether or not a reset is coming, whether or not a Noah's Ark reset is coming, whether or not when you look back at the times of Noah's Ark and you study that part of the Bible and you study what was going on, the reason why the world was flooded is because the world simply became so radicalized, so divisive. There was so much evil. There was so much filth in the world where God decided to flood the planet in order to cleanse it, right? So when we talked about a reset happening because our current planet, I don't know if anybody's paying attention, but all the fighting that's going on in the world, it's become toxic to the point where you would say that, yeah, we're reaching that point where there needs to be some sort of reset. Just like we said, there needs to be a cultural reset earlier. So when I see unidentified flying objects in New Jersey, when I hear the government talking about, oh, well, yeah, we don't know exactly, you know, what these objects are. And once they show up in our radar, the government of Phil Murphy, the governor of New Jersey said, well, yeah, they show up in our radar and then they go black. It's like, wait, what? Y'all got flying objects that can show up on the radar. And then once y'all identify them, they can disappear in y'all radar, even if we're seeing them. Let's take a look at some of these videos.
Oh my gosh, bro, look at that. Look at that. You know, that's the closest one we've gotten so far. Yeah, the tree's blocking it. Oh, bro, oh my gosh, look at that. They're four-way rectangular.
Now, hold up. Now, you can't sit here and tell me that that's not freaky. You can't sit here and tell me that these objects in the sky, this big, this much light, it's not like they're hiding. They're not Black Hawk down or anything. No. They're like, it's almost like they're showing off like, yo, we're pulling up. It is what it is. Y'all can't do anything about it. And once y'all see me on y'all radar, we'll disappear. And y'all are scared because y'all don't know what we are. So now y'all scared to shoot us down because what if something happens to where these things could blow up? These things could explode. We don't know what these things are. This is wild. Wild. There's things that are flying every night. And let me play the other video. Hold on. I want y'all to see this. Let me see if I can play this other video for y'all because there's another video. Is this it? Hold on. No, that's not it. 1 second. There was Megyn Kelly had an interesting video. I'll play that one for y'all where it gets into the details and I believe it highlights some of the opinions or some of you hear Phil Murphy, you hear some of these professionals, some of these people in the government that should know what's going on and they're sitting here as confused as us. Take a listen to this and y'all give me your thoughts.
He spoke with the 11/18, which I remember because that's my birthday. And there have been a whole lot of new developments in the last week. We're going to go through. All right. Now, the first sighting, as I say, 11/18, the drones have been spotted in the sky every night thereafter. They've been seen over reservoirs, highways, military installations, and near President-elect Donald Trump's Bedminster golf course. During one incident, the drones prevented a medical helicopter from picking up a person injured in a car crash. What? Good. A spokesperson for the Morris County Sheriff's Office described the drones as similar to small cars. They've said that they look like SUVs. A police chief for the town of Evesham in New Jersey, I don't know it, but they say most of this is happening in Ocean County by the shore in New Jersey, said witnesses have called the drones as large as an SUV with blinking lights on them. Here's a compilation of eyewitnesses capturing the objects on camera and
See, this is what happens when you live in these damn liberal states, man. They would never try this in Florida. They would never.
describing what they saw.
There they are. There they are. There they are. Oh.
In Florida,
More
they
in
get
New
shot
Jersey.
down. Expeditiously.
We shouldn't be outside.
Go. Well, here they are. They look like a fucking triangle. They look like a triangle. Oh my god, here we go. Here it is.
Look at that sucker.
Are you freaking
Lights
kidding
are
me
on.
right now? What
It looks like a
is
drone.
that?
No way. And an F-16 just flew over.
Hold on, I gotta pause this for a second and highlight what Uncle Brother just said. Uncle Brother, I love you, brother. I love you, brother. So Uncle Brother just wrote, check out The Great Reset. Klaus Schwab, the elites running the World Economic Forum, are trying to play God. That's a whole other rabbit hole for another day. Yo, I have my notebook here. Last night, I was going through a bunch of stuff. Let me see if I can. Hold on. I got to show this to y'all. Last night, and I got to make sure that there's nothing else crazy on here that I write on my notes. I want y'all to see if you can see this right here. Where it says right here where my finger is. Man trying to compete with God. Man trying to compete with God. And I don't even know what made me, this is when I was going through the show notes last night. And I don't know what made me write that note in my notebook that this is man trying to compete with God. When you look at a lot of these organizations, when you look at a lot of the things that are going on in the world, I think I was listening to some wild interview where they were trying to create this pregnancy, a virgin birth. They were trying to create this virgin birth. A lot of these things, a lot of the things, whether it's big pharma, whether it's a lot of the other things that happen in our world, it's man trying to show our superiority over God, in my opinion. That is why health, when it comes to health, and when it comes to a lot of these things, mental health especially, that's why, oh man, should I get into this? I'm just going to say two things. That is why it's prioritized for you to take pills from big pharma rather than to go outside and get the sun, the vitamin D rays from the sun. That's why it's encouraged to take this pill instead of to go into your supermarket and go get different vegetables, different fruits. That's why it's encouraged to take this big pharma instead of taking herbs that comes from the earth that God gave us. We are living in a world that constantly deals with man's ego, trying to show out that man is greater than God. And this is what I'm seeing in a lot of different scenarios. So let me get y'all comments, and then I promise we'll go right back to Megyn Kelly's video. So Ant wrote, man has always tried to compete with God, Tower of Babel. I got to look into that. I'm not familiar with Tower of Babel, but y'all know I will look into it. They were spotted in North Carolina as well. All right, that doesn't make any sense. If I was an alien, I understand pulling up to Jersey. You feel me? I understand pulling up to Jersey. We're different too. We're aliens too. You feel me? But the North Carolina, I don't know. And Mark wrote, shout out to Mark in the building. Mark, we miss you, baby. It's good to see you. George Soros is on camera saying he has always thought of himself as a god. There's a lot of stuff with George Soros, Mark, that it's almost too much for me to recall. But for a while, Candace Owens was doing, I know she was calling out a lot of the stuff with George Soros, and this was around the Black Lives Matter. And when you look at some of the things that George Soros has said and what his goals are, to play God and a lot of these other things. That is why when I asked y'all to look at the 1916 Project with Margaret Sanger, if you look at a lot of these people, a lot of these organizations, whether it's Planned Parenthood that we give all this credit to, that we celebrate, whether it's George Soros, when all the money that he gives to all these organizations when we were celebrating Black Lives Matter, look at what the people think who started these organizations or who fund these organizations. Why is it never brought up the type of minds that we'll look up Diddy, or we'll look up Harvey Weinstein and all the stuff that he's done and all this other type of stuff. We'll look at that, right? And now we'll go back and say, well, Oprah was working with Harvey Weinstein. Well, why don't we ever look back at the people like George Soros, the people that fund a lot of these super PACs that go to the government, the big money behind big pharmaceuticals and all these large wealth management groups, the Rockefellers, all these. Why do we not look into all these things? That would be my question. Ant wrote, I don't think it's aliens. They carry FAA travel lights, green on red. I'm sorry, hold on. Green on red on the correct wings to indicate flight direction. So it may not be aliens. I don't know who it is, but I know that I think that even with, I don't know whether sometimes when it comes to like spirituality and like when I talk about like Noah's Ark and the reset, I wonder at what point are y'all going to be like, oh, nah, he's bugging. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. But a lot of times I think that when we talk about the cycle and us needing to have a reset, at a certain point in time, well, let me break it down. Do y'all think that we're connected to nature? If the things, if we, do you believe that as human beings, we are connected to nature? If you do believe that as human beings, we are connected to nature, which I do believe, because that is why a lot of the things in nature are designed to heal us, are designed for us to flourish off of. Before we had all of this advanced technology, all we had was nature to rely on. And we still rely on nature. We still, that whether it's fishing for an animal, whether it's growing a crop, those grown crops from nature with as little influence and from man, like don't spray my vegetables with pesticides. Don't give me all this man-made stuff. Don't give me all this GMO, genetically modified stuff, food. The natural stuff is still the better stuff, right? So, all right. So if you do believe that humans are connected to nature, then I would assume that you would believe that nature has a connection with humans, right? So when you look at what happened with Noah's Ark, I don't think it needed to be God saying, you know what, sitting up in the clouds and saying, we're going to flood this. I'm going to flood the planet. I do not necessarily think that it was God sitting up there saying, this is the time we're flooding it. Maybe that was the case. According to the Bible, maybe it was closer to that, but I'm just telling you based on what I think. I think that because when things become so toxic with humans, I think in a lot of ways our environment and nature shows it. No different than when you hear about when tornadoes are coming, animals can sense them. I think that nature can sense what's going on with us a lot of ways as well. So I think that when things become so toxic, so evil, so much filth in the world, and there needs to be a reset, I think naturally there will be an occurrence that happens. So whether it's the people that are deciding that, whether, things get so, and it's just energy, right? It's like things may get so crazy to the point where one day people say, you know what, we're going to have a purge. That's all different energy connections. And I know I'm going, it's hard to explain these things and connect them to the things that we're talking about. But long story short, I just think that we are directly connected to nature. So when we hear about all this global warming and all these crazy things happening with nature that don't typically happen, maybe we should look at ourselves and how crazy the actions that we've been in our involvement with each other and the hatred that we have and the toxicity and the radicalized thoughts that we have. Maybe that's playing a role as well. Or maybe it's all just coincidence. I don't know. I'm just giving y'all thoughts. I'm just letting y'all, coming to my mind, and I'm just sharing some of the thoughts that go on in my mind. Mama Lay wrote, the drones are another on-purpose distraction to create fear to slow down the awakening. They know what they're doing. Wow, okay. That's actually a good point. I didn't even look at it like that. I didn't look at it like that as another distraction. Absolutely, we are connected to nature. We are nature. I like what Uncle Brother said. We are nature. So if we are nature, if we truly are nature, then the things that we do, just like when we pollute the world, it impacts nature. The things that we do with our energy, the things how we feel about each other, that has to impact nature as well, because we are nature. Mark wrote, I agree with Anthony. I think it's government, like always, keep the public arguing and confused as to what's going on. Okay. Aliens are in the ocean, we looking up and they are below us. LOL. Aliens in the ocean, we're looking up and they are below us. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. Because when you think about it, Queez, that makes a lot of sense, because they always say that the ocean is not explored at all. Like the ocean is one area that has not been explored. We have not properly explored anything close to the majority of the ocean. I guess we don't have that capability. I don't know. Or maybe we had, maybe a few of us, maybe we just saw some things down there that we weren't supposed to see. And some folks said, yeah, don't come back over here. Don't come back down here no more. Like, we gave y'all a pass. Don't come back down here anymore. Who knows what it is? Hold on. Did I skip a comment? Hold on. All right. So Ant wrote in Genesis chapter 11, verse 1-9. See, I didn't know I was going to be able to pronounce it like that. You feel me? In Genesis chapter 11, verse 1-9, human pride drives the building of a tower to reach heaven, but God humbles them by confusing their language and scattering them. Human pride drives the building of a tower to reach heaven, but God humbles them by confusing their language and scattering them. That's an interesting one, bro. I'm gonna have to dive into that more afterwards. It's happening today. People can't understand each other. Mark, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's absolutely government, Mama Lay wrote. It's a distraction. It has me looking to find what they are distracting us from. That's a good point. Like whether it's Jay-Z and Diddy, whether it's all these things, what are they distracting us from? What are they distracting us from? LOL, if it is ocean related, there was that huge anomaly appearing and disappearing in the ocean. I'm not even familiar with that. All right, we got to get back. My bad. We got to get back to Megyn Kelly. My apologies. Let's keep going.
No way.
This one is extremely low. It's loud.
It's really cute.
And it's huge.
It's so big. It looks so much closer in person.
Yeah, my camera doesn't do it. Looks like a spaceship, right?
So y'all really
like that doesn't look like a drone, right?
All right, I'm with y'all.
That looks like a spaceship.
It's coming right for them.
It's like a small plane. It really is like a small plane. These are all drones in the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 right here.
Damn, so hold on. Y'all really think it's the government? I'm telling y'all, I didn't even explore that angle as much. I'm being honest. Like, but now that actually makes a lot of sense. Like, I thought about it, like people were saying it, but I didn't really like go there with my mind. Wow, okay. I'm starting to, like, y'all are seeing it in real time. Me kind of, the wheels turning like, oh, it's the government. Okay, all right.
That's crazy. The young guy heard in that mashup also captured one of the only videos we've seen of the drones around dusk. You see it gliding through the sky, and all these are going from dusk to around 11 o'clock at night, they say. Look at this. Another eyewitness told the New York Times the drones show up one after the other following the same flight path. A New Jersey lawmaker citing New Jersey State Police said the sightings, again, they begin around sundown, they go through 11 p.m., and sometimes the drone's lights are turned off, making them harder to spot. And police have indicated they do not appear to emit radio frequencies, which allows them to avoid detection. They don't know where they take off from or land. They do believe they're coming from the water, at least according to some of the officials. They say that they're not drones being flown by hobbyists or related to DHS. This is what they're saying. They don't believe they're hobbyists, and they don't believe it's coming from DHS. After the initial report in mid-November, the FAA.
Yeah, see, now I'm starting to, now y'all got my mind going. I can't help it. All right, so this is what I looked at. So I don't know how I went down this rabbit hole a couple days ago, maybe it was yesterday, where, all right, so this is going, all right, so I saw a video and they were describing, I promise y'all, this will be 30 seconds, I promise y'all. They were describing what happened with FBG Duck. All right, so there's some Chicago rappers. Don't worry about the names, but there was a group of people that assassinated a Chicago rapper, and they were able to use different cameras, like a bunch of different cameras, to track the car that allegedly made the hit, or that did make the hit, whatever legal, I need to make sure, allegedly. They tracked the car from a particular set of buildings all the way to downtown Chicago where the assassination happened. So I'm sitting here like, hold up. They had all these different cameras, whether it's, I think overseas, they call it the CCTV or whatever. They have all these different cameras. And now I'm sitting here thinking, because y'all got this government in my mind, now I'm sitting here wondering like, hold up, how can they not find any information on this? This is why I need y'all.
FAA banned drones from flying over a military base in Morris County and over Trump's Bedminster. State leaders told constituents the drones do not pose any threat to the public. No threat whatsoever. They don't know what the hell they are, but don't panic. How are we not supposed to panic or worry if you have no freaking clue what they are? And we had at least one lawmaker come out and say exactly that. On Tuesday, the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, came out and talked to reporters. Again, he said, don't panic. There's nothing to panic over. But he also admitted that he spent all day on the phone with the White House trying to get answers, and listen to how he described them.
I was on with the White House and Homeland Security leadership literally at the very top yesterday for pretty much all day. I'm hoping we'll get answers sooner than later. I would just ask folks to continue to let the FBI or their local law enforcement know when they see something. And we'll continue to do everything we can with our federal partners to get clearer answers.
Why is it so hard to get answers?
These are apparently as I understand it, very sophisticated. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark. And, you know,
What?
we're obviously most concerned about sensitive targets and sensitive critical infrastructure.
I think somebody just wrote it in the chat, but one of the things that even as I was listening, because I saw this clip yesterday, when I was listening to it yesterday, I was thinking like, why would they, like, why would he say that? Like, why would, I don't know. Like, I kind of go back and forth on it. I mean, maybe he's just lying, or I just was really wondering, like, why would he say that? Like, what are the people now gonna think? It's almost like, bro, I guess part of me says like, yo, go in the room and figure out what the answer is and then come back out with a better answer. Like that, rather than just giving me these, we don't know what it is. It disappears, it does magic. It's more advanced than all the things that we have, even though we're supposed to be the most advanced. It's like, yo, how are people supposed to feel anything but fear? And maybe this goes back to exactly what y'all are saying. The fear campaign, nothing distracts us more than some fear, right?
So we've got military assets, we've got utility assets, we've got the president-elect's one of his homes here. This is something we're taking deadly seriously. We've gotten good cooperation out of the feds, but we need more, and that was my plea.
But no answers, and don't panic. After the governor's remarks, Republican State Senator John Bramnick called on the governor to declare a limited state of emergency and ban all drones until someone explains what the hell's going on here. But so far, that has not happened. New Jersey State Senator Douglas Steinhardt then went on Fox News and in an interview said that the objects are indeed coming from offshore.
The best information that we have available to us to this point suggests that these drones are coming from offshore, that when we try to make contact with them, they become evasive and elusive. From my perspective, if they are American assets, if they're American military, if they're American drones, and I think we owe the American people answers or explanations, but if they're not American made, if they're not American drones, then I think, we owe the American people action. And if no one else is saying, I'll be the first one to say it, if these are not American assets, then we need to get our assets into the air and blow one of these things out of the sky, pick up the pieces and figure out what we're dealing with. Because quite frankly, we're the United States of America. I mean, I think we need to do a better job here.
Shy, what up?
Douglas Steinhardt, right on. Stand by. There's more. Also on Tuesday, the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee questioned the FBI Assistant Director of Critical Incident Response about whether the public is at risk here. That director, Robert Wheeler, admitted, "We have no idea."
We do not attribute that to an individual or a group yet. We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that, of one or more people that are responsible for those drone flights. It is concerning.
Is the public at risk? Is public safety at risk? Are we concerned that there are nefarious intentions that could cause either national security or a public safety incident that would put Americans at risk?
There's nothing that is known that would lead me to say that, but we just don't know, and that's the concerning part.
Yeah, there is something that's known. Hundreds of drones are flying over New Jersey the size of SUVs, and they go dark when you get eyes on them, and they won't interact with us. There's something.
That's when people just don't want to, they know that, I don't know if they're under oath, but they know that the world may see it, the country may see it. So he's probably sitting here saying, like, he doesn't know whether he should. When I hear him talk, it's like, I feel like he really wants to say, like, yo, we don't know what the F is going on. Like, yeah, you should be scared. We're scared too. We just told y'all we don't know what it is. Like, that's what I feel like he wants to say, unless he does know that there is some sort of government involvement. So, who knows? I guess this is why it makes it such a great distraction to all y'all points.
Yeah. So then yesterday, the story really took a turn when Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey went on Fox News and claimed that sources told him this is Iran. Watch.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones.
What?
That mothership is off. I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. The sources I have are good. They can't reveal who they are because they are speaking to me in confidentiality. These drones should be shot down. The military is on alert with this.
It's Iran? And only Jeff Van Drew will tell us the truth. There's a mothership in the Atlantic, well, right off the coast of New Jersey. What? Okay, but hold your horses, because not long after his remarks, a spokesman for the Pentagon came out and shat all over his claims.
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
I don't know. You never know.
What's happening? Okay, so far, New Jersey Assemblywoman Dawn Fantasia has given the best wrap-up of where things stand. She tweeted a long thread on X yesterday after meeting with New Jersey State Police. Bottom line, she writes, "We know nothing, period." She then went on to admit, quote, "To state that there is no known or credible threat is incredibly misleading." She said the state is shackled with what it's able to do. Any interception must be done by the feds. She admitted at this point military intervention is the only path forward and said there will be no answers in the absence of proactivity. New Jersey State Representative Brian Bergen told News Nation's Rich McHugh that he actually walked out of the briefing fed up with the lack of information.
I walked out because it was worthless. It was the biggest amateur hour presentation I've ever seen about anything.
What is going on?
It was ridiculous. There were no answers. Every question that was asked by a member of the state legislature, great questions, no answers, no resolution. They don't know where the drones are coming from. They don't know who's doing it. They don't know why they're doing it, but they say there's no credible threat. Colonel of State Police said that he had a helicopter of his flying over above one of these drones, a 6-foot drone or something. I can't remember exactly what he said. And he felt unsafe for his helicopter, so he just let it go. Just let it go. Where'd it go? Who knows? You know, didn't want to follow it because he didn't feel safe. Is that not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing.
Oh, they don't know nothing.
Funny.
And are we sure they're drones, by the way, and not alien spaceships? I mean, could Rosie O'Donnell for once be right? John Greenwald Jr. has been studying UFOs and UAPs for decades. We actually interviewed him on this program back in 2021, episode 116, if you want to check it out. And he said these drones are not alien. He wrote on X, an intelligent civilization won't travel light years just to check out New Jersey. He said aliens are not going to show up and resemble drone swarms. And this guy does know what he's talking about. He's filed over 10,000 public information requests to the government trying to figure out what's out.
All right, so we're gonna finish up with that one.
It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon.